to the session. I request everyone to mute, please. I request teachers to mute, please. Okay. Thank you for joining my session. This Wise Learning is my channel in the YouTube. I will just post the link of my YouTube. Please kindly subscribe. Today's session is about the creative teaching strategies. Creative teaching strategies is one of the important skill which we need to do. Okay. So before starting to the session, I just wanted to pose one question, which is the favorite teacher's nation, which is a teacher's favorite nation. Kindly send me in the chat box, please. Which is the teacher's favorite nation? Which is the teacher's favorite nation? Anyone? Which is the teacher's favorite nation? India. Okay. Thank you, Vaidehi ma'am. India. Okay. So thank you all. Imagination, India. Wow, India, fine. Okay, I can get so many types of a thing, but it is a small thing. India, teacher's favorite nation is explanation. Okay, it is just a interactive question just to bring a kind of a smile on your faces. And thank you all. Coordination, very nice. Good. Coordination is a nice one. Thank you, Meena ma'am. Okay, so here I have one small video, which is all about which I have created this video. This video says about how a teacher is bringing a kind of a innovative strategies in a classroom. Let us see to the video.
There was an elementary school known
as... Is it audible?
School. It had colorful classrooms and a dedicated staff of teachers.
Yes.
Among them was Miss Amelia, a remarkable teacher who had a unique way of bringing interest and excitement into her classroom. Miss Amelia had a reputation for being a little humorous, but her students adored her for it. One sunny morning, she noticed that her students seemed a bit disengaged. They were restless and bored with the usual science class. Miss Amelia decided she needed to rekindle their interest. She decided to take her students on an imaginary journey. She began to describe a magical forest filled with talking animals and trees. The imaginary forest adventure continued for days. Miss Amelia integrated lessons on math, science, and language arts into the story. To further engage her students, she experimented using colorful liquids that bubbled and fizzed. There was an elementary school known as Bright School. It had a colorful class.
Okay. So in this video, if you have observed, the teacher by name Alinia, who has brought a kind of innovative teaching methodology in her classroom. She's a science teacher. So she have observed the students who are restless, who are disinterested. So what she did was to bring the interest. First, she created a kind of imagination characters in her teaching process, as well as she also brought a kind of a science apparatus in her classroom session, as well as she also was not happy with that, whatever she's done. She's also brought a kind of a guest lecture method in her thing, which was a motivational talk. So these are the some of the strategies which as a teacher we can bring in our daily learning sessions. Okay, today's session is all about the teaching and presentational skill into our classroom settings, as well as we are going to learn some of the methodology or some of the teaching strategies which we can implement in our daily sessions, as well as one sample lesson plan is also can be discussed. So before going to that, I just wanted to ask one question for all the participants here. What are the different terms we use for a teacher? For a term teacher, what are the different terms we can use? We have different terms, right? So what are the different terms we can use it? Educator, facilitator. Thank you. Tutor, facilitator, trainer, mentor. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, excellent, and thank you all for that. So I can also add some more verb or some more adjective for that, which I can say those are the information jugglers or the motivators, entertainers. Entertainers is also where we can add it in our crown. Okay, so as an educator, we know that traditional methods is bringing a great challenges in us. Okay, lots of challenges we are getting it. So the students may not be happy to see a same kind of a teaching method. That is a one-way teaching method. They always needs a kind of a variety in our sessions because they have a kind of curiosity. So it is one of the biggest challenge for a teacher is capturing the interest or the students' attention. For that, we need to explore main new approaches. We need to bring kind of a many dynamic strategies in our classroom environment. So next, we are going to learn about why this creative teaching strategies is important. Creative teaching strategies helps the students to develop critical thinking skills, helps them to do the problem solving abilities. They help them to think outside the box and enhance the students to engage among their peers, retain what they learned, and to be more motivation. Motivational things are very important. In addition to this, creative teaching strategies is also become their one of the memorable tastes. For example, using a visual aids or a storytelling methods, all these are some of the strategies where the students go deeper level of the concept and they understand about the concept in a new way. Here, one method is the incorporating the humor and the fun. Okay, I just wanted to talk about my personal experience. I had a talk with my son who's studying in PU. I just asked him, what are the ways the teacher can bring in the classroom? How the teacher can bring interest in the classroom? The only answer what he told me was to be the classroom more alive is the only thing is to bring a kind of humor as well as the fun in the classroom. I totally agree with that. Okay, as now and then we teacher have to break some kind of a jokes in the classroom. So in that case, I just wanted to tell you one joke before going for the next slide. A teacher told to the classroom, okay, what is the chemical formula for water? Okay, and the student told it is HIJKLMNO. And the teacher was surprised. And the teacher told, what are you talking about? And the student said, it is all you thought, it is H2O. It is a simple joke. Might be it is an older one, but this kind of a joke when you crack in your sessions might be the students in a 35 class in a student, one or the two may enjoy it. So the students, there will be a kind of aliveness in your sessions. So we need to be more humor in our session and more interactive with our students. So here one more example, the science teacher who's using a funny video in her session as a introduce for the initiation. So this, when she's using this, she saw that the students is bringing a kind of a laugh or the smile, but that moment when she brought it in the introduction itself, the throughout 40 minutes it remains. The students remains in the same kind of a mental health. Okay, so one more example is the math teacher who brings the games in her concepts, and the English teacher who brings the role play activities. I totally tell you that these kind of activities will retain in their memory for a long term. So it is very important to bring a creative strategies in our teaching process. Next, we are going to learn about assessment and feedback. Yes, assessment and feedback is an important tool. It is an important tool that align with the creative teaching strategies. So students, teacher have to have a kind of understanding level of students. She have to take an insight of the students' understanding level. Only then she can adjust the approach of the students. Okay. If you this assessment and feedback, it is not necessary that it have to be end of the semester or end of the what is it, academic years or end of the chapter. It is not that. It is every day session. Every day when I finish my class, I can go for this feedback. Feedback is very, very important. We have different types of strategies also to get the feedback from students. So one example is reflections, as well as peer questioning. All these types of the simple method which takes hardly 5 to 10 minutes for taking a feedback of the students understanding level. It is a very important, so that I can use it I can recapitulate, or I can come back to the same session in my next day, so that I will understand or recap with the concept. Next, we have a few challenges. We have few challenges for doing this creative teaching strategies. One is, already some students will be having a mindset. They already adjusted to that. Okay. So they will not ready to go for the transformation. They will not be ready for any kind of a changes. For that reason, we need to convince them. As a teacher, we need to convince. We have to tell them what are the benefits of using these kind of strategies in their learning process. Once if it is understood by the students, they will try to come up with the more ideas, and they try to interact with the teacher. Another challenge is the time and the resources. Yes, time, we all know that we have certain syllabus to complete. We all know that we have to do revisions. We have to come up with so many things. Yes, when these type of challenges are coming up and the very time constraints are there, we need to plan accordingly. The lesson plan plays a very important role. And then the resources which is very easy available to us, we need to take from those resources and can use. One more, how to overcome these type of challenges, that is time and the resource, is first always start with a smaller kind of a strategies. We can use a free apps which is available in the online. We can use the resources like a small paper or a sticky notes or a small kind, where we can use it, all those things in our everyday teaching learning process. Next, we are coming to the effective lesson plan. We all know that before starting a chapter, we have to write the lesson plan. So when we start the lesson plan, the objective should be very, very clear. So when we start with the objective, we need to keep it in our mind, the strategies which I can include. Remember, teachers, all the strategies we cannot include in our everyday session. We can include hardly 2 to 3. Okay, it depends on the content what I'm taking. It depends on the age appropriate, and it needs to the time constraint. So looking at all these things, all these concepts, we have to adjust our strategy method accordingly into our lesson plans. For example, teaching the water cycle is my content of today's session, means I can use a visual aids, or I can use the model which I can use it, bring the model in the classroom, place it in the classroom and teach them according and make them to touch and feel with the model and understand the concept. The creative teaching strategies can be divided into 4 types. One is called as experimental learning. Next one is called as a problem solving methodologies. And then we can have a digital tools and the participative learning. Participative learning where the students involved in an activity and then they will come up with the sessions like seminar presentation, PPT presentation, group discussion, role play, book review or the guest lecture. And the problem solving, we will give them the kind of the questions where the questions is placed to them. They will solve those problems and then they will come up with the answers. And experimental learning, they go up to the concept, they experiment, they feel the content and then they'll come up with the ideas as well as with the answers. Last is the digital tools. Digital tools, when I'm using in my classroom, like for the explanation might be, or for the initiation might be, or might be with the kind of a recapitulation. I can use different tools for my classroom session. Next is there is one small video which is of 1.5 minutes created by me. It is all about the life cycle of the plant where I used it for the purpose of recapitulation. So this is one, I'll tell you this, I never use any app or anything for making this. It is a normal PPT. I used it for creating this type of animated videos might be, or this what I showed you the video of it, a normal PPT which I used it. So simple things we can use it to make my class more interesting. Here I have few strategies which mostly I will use it in my sessions. I'll just go by one and with few details, with few examples. So first, let me go for the values for voting. So the objective of this values for voting is identifying or consider the thoughts and the attitude of the students. What I'm going to do is I will give them the question. I'll place a statement or a question. Example, is it very necessary to participate in the election or to cast my vote? This is my question or my thing. And then I'll give that is sticky notes for my students or ask them to write it or make a note in their rough notebook or whatever it is. And then they will place it on the whiteboard or a bulletin board. Once they place it, I'll go and read each student or a group which I have made it according to my convenient, and then ask the students, is it okay, by raising their hand. The group or any students who was objecting it will raise the hand, who is for the group, for the sentence will also raise the hand. So it is something like a debate as well as like a recapitulation. Next method is the tic-toc-toe quiz show. This tic-toc-toe quiz show is I'm conducting the quiz in my classroom. I'll divide the class into 4 to 5 and keep posing the questions. The correct group will get the correct marks. I mean 5 marks or 10 marks, what I've told you. And the next one I'll be giving the and the next I will be asking them to, the wrong one will get the minus points. Next is the journals. Journals is also another reflective type of question. This activity or this strategy, I can use it in the end of the session. Okay. The journals is specially before giving this, I have to give a clear instruction to the to students telling that the concept or the content what they write, it should be thoughts, there should be observation, there should be a feelings, there should be a question. All these 4 concepts should be in their write-ups. And then after my explanation of chapter, any chapter, I will ask them to make a write-ups and come up with the presentation. Next is 1 minute care plan. It is also called as a 1 minute challenge. It is for the initiation, that is beginning of the session or end of the session. Okay, beginning of the session, to open the chapter, opening of the chapter, I will pose a question. Okay, something like why this guy, what was the why the war is very important, or I can go for the history chapter, means why is the, what is the name the different types of the kings which you have learned in your previous classroom, something like that. Or end of the session, recapitulation of the chapter, I can go and post the question. Next, the shared reading. This is appropriate for the, especially for the language. The shared reading, the poem what they read or the lesson what they read, they will share it with their peer group. The group will be created by a teacher, and the teacher will ask the student to exchange their learned whatever they have understood about the concept. Next is the before and after. Before and after, I just show you one picture of it. This is called as the before after the statement is given. Remember teachers, for this type of activities, I have to take only one single concept. One single concept, I've taken it as a traffic. Traffic is a concept. When this is there, the teachers will divide the content, a small topic, a full chapter into a small content, and create a kind of a thought-provoking questions and place it in a box. Okay, the student will write before and after. So your helmet will reduce injuries in a crash. So before, what is there, and after, if they don't wear it, what is the precaution, as well as what is the action should be taken. So this is called, this one is 8 square game. I'll show you 1 minute. Okay, 8 square thing is, the boxes like eight boxes is given to students, and one concept is given to the class. It is a group activity. There should be 8 members. There should be 8 members in a group. Once the 8 members are there, each student will go and write the whatever they have learned in that topic, and their signature is must. So that can be placed on the bulletin board. Whenever there is a galaxy walk or whenever there is a revision, it will be a kind of recapitulation. There is one more which is called as a jigsaw. Jigsaw is also a very interesting activity. This activity is will give a critical and analysis and evaluate, as well as applying objective can be reached by doing this jigsaw activity. The class should be divided into 4 to 5, and each group will get different topic. Okay, it should not be a same topic, but there should be a one leader should be appointed by teacher. Once the leader is appointed, the leader should create a report of whatever they are discussing in their group, and then they have to come up with the report. So that report should be presented in class. Next is in-lecture innovations. The in-lecture innovations is for the initiation topic. This topic is when I'm starting with the chapter, I will open and or I can give a kind of a question to the class. Okay, and then ask them to come up with a different answers. Next is play it again. Play it is a kind of a revision activity. Play it again, where there might be, I have already done with the question. Already the question paper is done, the test is done, everything is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'll make a peer group, and the students will try to exchange whatever they have learned. So that is play it again. So these are some of the types of strategies where I'm also using in my everyday sessions. But again, I'm repeating this, all the strategies, I cannot use it in my one session. It depends on the content and the age as well as the time where I have it. Okay. These are called also the resource sheet. This I can use it for journalism, where the problem, this is journalism. So sorry, this is for the journalism. So the student will try to find out what is the problem of it, or what I'm going to learn, what I have to do it in my next thing. And this is for the 8 thing, or any activities I can use it. The next one, the topic. Okay, the topic which I have taken is the natural vegetation of India. Natural vegetation of India. This is a sample lesson plan. Okay, this is something where it's illustrating the natural vegetation of India and understand the importance of the ecosystem. So before going to that, let me give you one small joke and then proceed. Okay, or one small question. Which letter of the alphabet has the most water? Which letter of the alphabet has the most water? C. Excellent. Excellent, teachers. Thank you. Thank you all. So, thank you. So this is something where I'm going to illustrate about the natural vegetation of India and understand the importance in the ecosystem. I wanted to make it very much clear about the hook as well as the introduction. The hook is different and the introduction is different in the lesson plan as well as in the session. Hook is something where I'm trying to or grab the attention of students. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'll try to bring the pictures of the Himalayan scenic picture and the Western Ghats picture. Ask the students to imagine, and then write or tell about if they are exploring those places or exploring those forests in the diverse flora and fauna. What will be, what is their experience? Or come up with the write-ups or something like that. So these type of activities is the hook. When I start the session with this type of hook, what will happen is that will remain for throughout the session. Then it will create a kind of curiosity and set a positive, engaging tone for the rest of the lesson. The relevance is nothing but the complete picture of my lesson plan. Okay, the relevance is nothing but the natural vegetation of India is very important. Okay, it is important. I'm going to teach them, understand the students, make students to understand about the unique biodiversity in country and the environmental challenges they faces, as well as give some kind of explanation about the tropical rainforest as well as the mangrove rainforest. Next is the strategies or the methods I'm going to use it. The introduction. The introduction, I'm going to define what is natural vegetation as the plant, as well as I have to make a very clear concept for my students. There is a difference between the natural vegetation as well as there is a difference between a managing resource vegetation. Okay, so what I have to do is first I have to define what is natural vegetation and the factors, okay, which are the factors depend on the natural vegetation like climate, rainfall, and the temperature, as well as help students to understand the difference between forest, grasslands, and the wetlands, and providing them the helping them to know about the wildlife and the other features in the particular vegetation. Then we have to explain them about all about different types of major natural vegetations like tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, mangrove forest, and many more. Some teaching aids or the some strategies what I'm using is the pictures, charts, maps, and many more. So at the end of the session, I need to identify some of the students who have not understood what is the difference between the managed vegetation as well as the natural vegetation. That is human-made any vegetation and the natural vegetation. For this, I can use the Venn diagram, a clear Venn diagram. I can use it. The concept I can tell them, which is being used for differences and the common one. So some of the strategies what I used or I can use it in my thing is I can encourage the students to visit to the nearby forest along with their father or their parents or friends or whatever it is. And then the next I can divide the class into small groups and assign the group into the natural vegetation to research and present it to the class, as well as I can give a thought-provoking questions. Why do you think the certain animals prefer to live in a specific types of natural vegetation? Organize a field trip. It is not necessary that I have to organize a field trip for every session. I can take them to the ground which is there in our own schools or the nearby any small park or anywhere and ask them to observe and interact with the natural vegetation. Then last, I can show them short videos or the articles for students and explore during the independent study time. So these are the some kind of strategies where I can clarify the above or about doubts or the students have. This is small strategies. So depend on the content and this I need to face. At the conclusion, I wanted to tell before going to the conclusion, can teachers tell me any questions or anything? Teachers? One second. Anyone who have a doubt or anything?
Kindly show the previous slide, ma'am.
One second, ma'am. Ma'am, before to that, I just wanted to tell that this is my WhatsApp group. I'll just post it in the group. Kindly join the kindly join to the WhatsApp group and give me your valuable feedback. There's the same thing which I'm going to paste it in the YouTube also. I request everyone to watch the video as well as share and subscribe the video. One second. This is my video. And please give your valuable feedback so that I can improve in my next session. Please. Previous one. Thank you. I just wanted to show the previous one. Yes, teachers. Any doubt, anything? Because it is showing only 5 minutes left. Is it I'm audible?
How are you creating the animated video, ma'am?
Animated video, ma'am. Can I have it in the next session?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. I'll
Thank
show you you wanted the animated video or the life cycle, what I created, no? That one, that type of videos you wanted.
Animated video, ma'am. We are the language teachers, so it will help us to.
For the animated videos you wanted. Okay, ma'am. I'll
Yes.
definitely do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please subscribe to YouTube channel as well as log into my WhatsApp group, please, and then give your valuable feedback so that I can improve in my next session. Jigsaw and before and after. Okay, fine, ma'am. I just wanted to go for that. Okay, jigsaw you wanted, right? Okay, before to that, before and after. Before and after is a thing. I'm giving the one concept for my class. Okay, I've taken example like a traffic. Traffic is my concept. So what I'm going to do is I will break it into different session and create a kind of a sentence or a phrase of it. Phrase of my topic. And then show to the students before. Now, if you don't wear the helmet, what will happen? So before, what are the precautions I can take, and after, what will happen after the if I don't take care, what will happen? So that type of things will help them to learn better. And the last one, if you see, a child under 12 should never ride on the road. So it is before. As a parent, I should tell the students, I mean, of my child, that you should not ride the bike or two-wheeler on the road because you are not so adult in that. I request to your teachers to please mute. Okay, and then after, if you ride it, what will be the effect of it? So like a precaution and the action of it, I need to exchange of it. Okay, next is jigsaw. Jigsaw is nothing but where I will divide the class into different groups. Okay, might be I will use it as different concepts I will give. Okay, this jigsaw I can use it for the recapitulation. Actually, for the recapitulation, what I will do, divide the class and ask them to okay, and then I'll ask them to find the concept and discuss among their group. One leader will be appointed. Once the leader is appointed, they have to write the what is that report and present it to the class. So that is jigsaw. Okay, any other doubt or anything, please let me know. Please join the WhatsApp group so that I can share whatever is there, whatever I know it, I can share it.
Ma'am, it's asking waiting for admin approval.
For what, sir?
Just WhatsApp group.
One second, sir. I think some settings might be some problem. Okay, I'll do that, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine, sir. I'll share this video in the group. Thank you all.
Ma'am, the last but one slide.
Which one, ma'am?
Your
Only
conclusion.
1 minute left, ma'am. I will share it in the thing, ma'am, in the YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Anuradha.
Thank